All right, now for the interactive notebook. The notebook is going to be essentially your textbook. All of the information that you're going to need and that you're going to require is going to be in this book. So we need to set it up in a way that is going to be easy for us. Now, the inside cover, I can't write on my inside cover because of what the book is, but I can write on the inside folder. What you're going to do is you're going to end up putting your name. I'll put my name in there. Now everybody knows my first name, but you all knew my first name to begin with, so it doesn't really matter. I'm putting instructor right next to it just because that's who I am. This would be hour 1. I would put the remind code in there in case something happens. Nothing ever happens to your phone, right? Nothing ever at all. You never lose it. You never break it. Nothing. Right. So the remind code is at JFChem1. And we're going to text that to 81010. So we want to have that in there. So the first page is basically a lot of information. Website. It's going to be HTTP Four-Dory Math. I didn't want to change the Four-Dory Math part, even though I could, just because, you know what, it's already hooked up to the website, and who knows what's going to happen if I try to ask them to change it. .weebly.com. So your notebook, you always have the website with it. Blackboard. That is coming. So we're going to have a section for Blackboard. And just kind of leave that blank. Yes? You're welcome. Better?
Yeah.
Anytime. Anytime at all. Yeah, if anything like that happens, just let me know. I'm pretty good about helping you guys out. Because I already know, well, I know about 60% of this stuff. You guys are the ones that are learning this stuff. All right, now lab partner. We're going to go in groups of 3. Okay? So, you're going to put your first name, and then when we get to it and you decide your lab partners, or I tell you what the lab partners are, there's going to be basically kind of 2 things. If you want to do this and make a T-chart, and you're like, oh my God, we're doing input, output in math again. What's the X? What's the Y? Well, no, that's not what we're doing. This is, you could say my choice, and then Mr. F's choice. Because, and I'll give you the rationale behind that. 1, there will be times when I let you choose who you work with. Just remember that your grade is being influenced by who you choose. So I would choose wisely. Sometimes a good friend is not the best person to have in the lab with you. But also, sometimes it's a lot easier to work with people you know. But also, you need to kind of get used to working with people that you don't know. And so I might randomly choose groups and have you working together and trying to figure out problems working together with groups that you might not be comfortable with, at least at a personal level, because you don't know them that well. 1, it helps you learn your classmates a little bit. But also, it prepares you for the real world where if you apply to a job where you don't know anybody, guess what? Everybody you work with is someone new. So you have to learn how to work with them. So this is a nice and safe environment where you get to do that. It's not going to happen all the time. This, I think, is going to happen more often than not. Unless you show me that you're not safe. If you're not safe, I will jettison that and I will tell you who you're working with. So be safe. Be safe. Also, you can kind of consider your lab partners to be, I hate to use these words because they're just words I don't use, but like work buddies. Like the word buddies. I can't even spell it. Those are people that, like, if you're doing homework, that you might want to lean on a little bit and do the homework together. So if I say, hey, here's 10 problems that I want you to work on in class, you're going to get together in your lab groups and work together. And just remember, again, your grade is going to be dependent on who you're working with. So, not a big deal. If there's stuff that we're going to add here, we'll go ahead and add it. Now, I'm going to flip to the back cover. First off, everybody okay with this? This is just general information. Name, hour, communication. The Blackboard is going to be a website that I'm going to give you a link to, and then there's going to be passwords and all that kind of garbage. So you guys will have your passwords and all that stuff to get into it. Primarily because of the cool thing here is, and I get to play Big Brother. Well, of course I get to play Big Brother because I went to U of M. Everybody else is Little Brother. No? Okay. Michigan calls Michigan State Little Brother. And we're always going to call Michigan State Little Brother. Once you log into here, I can tell whether or not you're doing what you're doing. I get to use technology for evil. Or actually for accountability, which isn't evil. It's just making sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now on the back, again, I have a bad back cover, so I'm going to use the last page in the notebook, but you can use that entire cardboard piece, which is going to be good. That's going to be a formula sheet. Your back cover, you want it to be a formula sheet. So at the top, just go ahead and put formula sheet. For me, since I have the weird notebook that really doesn't have, that has that back cover that I can't really use, I'm actually going to put, and you don't want to do this, I'm going to put formula sheet. For my last 3 pages of the notebook. Just because I don't have I have the cardboard cover, but it also has stuff that I can't really write over. So that's not a huge deal for you. All right, so front cover, just to clarify, name of the class, something that you can easily identify as something that when you go into your locker, you know, hey, this is my chem book that I am going to have to bring. This you bring with you every day. Your textbook, not necessarily every day. This, every day. The inside of your front cover is going to be all sorts of what we call demographic information. Your name, lab partners, all that kind of fun stuff. Up in the corner, you might want to put seat number. As you can see, there are no seat numbers on the seats yet. There will be seat numbers there. And they'll be filled up. I'm going to fill the front of the class before the back of the class. So ladies in the back and gentlemen in the back, you'll be filling forward a little bit more. Sorry. I don't like the empty spaces in the front. And I know what everybody likes to do, and that is move as far back from the instructor as possible. I understand that. But don't worry, that's okay. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to dedicate the first 3 pages, because at least your book has about 70 pages in it. And you can go ahead and fill this thing in as you need to, but this is going to be your table of contents. That's going to be your table of contents. And so you could put page or you could put P, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then label those. I'll get through the first page at least. I might have to go a couple more pages because I think this has 200 pages in it. Alright, for instructional purposes only, I'll let you guys fill in everything with that. Yeah, I go to 200 and it's 34, so that'll be 68. 30, 90, 98, 102. I have to go a couple more pages than you guys. I'm only going to go up to, that's 136, then 169er. Alright, so, now, our first 3 pages, you guys only need to make the first 3 pages your table of contents. So, put in here table of contents. Table of contents. So now, basically our notebook is set up. Now, your pages don't usually have page numbers on it. And since page 1 is your table of contents page, you could go right up to the top corner here and put a 1. Because that would be your first page. Now, what I recommend doing is this. Instead of doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just go to the next page. Now, would that be page 2 or would that be page 3? Page 3. And then that's page 5. So if you just label all the odd pages, all the even, you can find, can you guys find the even page? If I say go to page 4, you can open up to page 5 and there's page 4. Now, if you're a completist and you need all the numbers, go ahead and put them all in there. But I'll get this up to 15, 17. I'll go just past 20. 19 and 21. Alright, so we have all our, this is it. This is how you set up your notebook. Now, we're going to have all sorts of different stuff all over the notebook. It'll be nice and fun and neat and all that kind of fun stuff for you. But it'll work out. It'll all work out for you. Alright, any questions on the notebook? Just the general setup. Everybody on board? Cool.